Unbelievable. Sagittarius and Leo, the twin flame connection of the universe. There are certain connections in the universe that take our breath away when we witness them. Not because they are loud, dazzling, or flamboyant, but because of a silent, subtle, and astonishing harmony that makes even the most seasoned souls pause for a moment. And today, I invite you to explore with me one of the most unbelievable combinations ever seen in astrology. The artful and nearly perfect harmony between Sagittarius and Leo. Not just two fire signs. Not just two strong, passionate individuals who live life to the fullest. But a living testament to an ancient cosmic truth. When light meets light, the entire universe must stop to witness. Have you ever wondered why everything seems to change when a Sagittarius enters the life of a Leo? Why two seemingly fiery and conflicting energies can form such a deep spiritual bond? Stay with me for the next 30 minutes. I will tell you a story, not just a love story, but a journey of the soul, of light, and of destined purpose. I'm not talking about ordinary romance, I'm talking about awakening. When a wandering Sagittarius finds a soul home in the proud eyes of a Leo. And if you're hearing this right now, it's not by chance. This could be a sign sent to you from the universe. Leave a comment. I am ready to receive my soul connection. Because who knows, the moment you say it, the door of destiny may begin to open. If what I'm about to share touches your heart, like the video, share it, and help spread this positive energy to the souls still searching for light. Remember, what you give, the universe will return to you many times over. Ready? Let us begin the journey into the magical bond between Sagittarius and Leo. Sagittarius, the child of Jupiter, planet of wisdom, expansion, and spiritual belief, has carried an extraordinary path since birth. It's not a path of stability, nor is it smooth. It is the path of a soul seeking light, truth, and the ultimate meaning of existence. If you've ever seen the eyes of a Sagittarius light up as they talk about a place they've been, a philosophy they've just discovered, or a dream that keeps urging them forward, you'll know they don't live like ordinary people. They live by faith. And that faith isn't placed in the tangible, but in something greater, in the soul, the universe, something beyond logic. Sagittarius is a spiritual traveler. They don't belong to any one place. They may live in a bustling city, but their soul is always drawn toward distant mountaintops, where the first rays of sunlight bring life. It's no coincidence that the symbol of Sagittarius is the centaur, half human, half horse, drawing a bow aimed at the horizon. Their spirit is part wild, part human, part divine. They cannot be tamed. They cannot be controlled. And that's precisely what makes them irresistibly captivating. What many don't know is that beneath the radiant optimism of Sagittarius lies a quiet loneliness. Always looking ahead, they sometimes forget to pause. They love life, yet always feel like they're searching for something still unnamed. They're not looking for someone to hold them back, they seek a soul strong enough to run alongside. Someone who will journey with them through the layers of life's meaning. Unafraid to ask questions, to challenge beliefs, to walk in the light of truth. And then, within the spiraling dance of reincarnation, Sagittarius meets Leo. A soul full of courage, radiance, generosity, and a burning desire to live fully. Leo, the symbol of the sun, is the only one who can make Sagittarius pause and say, "At last. I've found the light." But it's not a blinding light. It's the kind of light that lets them be fully themselves and still shine brighter than ever. When Sagittarius speaks, Leo listens with the heart. When Sagittarius doubts, Leo restores their faith. And when Sagittarius wants to run, Leo doesn't hold them, they run alongside. This isn't a love of possession, it's a love of elevation. No wonder ancient astrologers called the bond between Sagittarius and Leo a karmic junction. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it awakens the full spiritual potential of both souls. That's why we can't speak of the perfection of this connection without looking deep into the heart of Sagittarius. They are never half-hearted when they love. They love with full belief in goodness, truth, freedom, and mission. When a Sagittarius loves, they love the present you, the future you, the highest version of you that you are striving to become. And if you are a Leo, you'll feel this in the way Sagittarius believes in you, even when you don't yet believe in yourself. They are the ones who awaken in you a hidden kingdom. The ones who remind you that you were born to shine, not to be validated by others, but to set the world ablaze from within. And if you are a Sagittarius who has ever been warmed by a Leo, or are still waiting for that companion, know this. The universe always has a perfect plan for souls on the right path. Don't stop searching. Don't lose faith. And if these words stir something inside you, leave a comment. I am on the journey to meet the light of my life. Because maybe, as you speak those words, your Leo is listening somewhere out there in this vast universe. In astrology, when two zodiac signs of the fire element meet, the first thing people often think of is explosion. But not every explosion is destructive. There are times when fire does not burn everything down, but instead illuminates. And that is exactly the case with Sagittarius and Leo, the two proudest symbols of inner light. Two souls who never settle for an ordinary life. Sagittarius is the mutable fire, representing the desire to reach far, to change, to expand, and to seek the truth. Leo is the fixed fire, representing power, confidence, identity, and unyielding will. One lives with the spirit of exploration, the other with a heart full of passion. And when they meet, the entire frequency of the world around them seems to shift. Everything becomes more vibrant, more expansive, more full of life and excitement. To understand it more clearly, imagine a summer afternoon, when the sun, Leo, sets over the horizon, while the campfire, Sagittarius, begins to burn brightly in the wilderness. The light does not vanish. It simply changes form. One shines outward, the other warms from within. They do not compete for roles, they complement each other perfectly. When Sagittarius feels lost in an endless journey, Leo is the lighthouse reminding them of their core purpose. When Leo feels wounded from not being seen, Sagittarius helps them understand that true value lies not in applause, but in who you've inspired. Astrology also reveals that this combination often appears under highly favorable aspects. Like when the Sun, ruler of Leo, forms a trine with Jupiter, ruler of Sagittarius, a powerful time for soul expansion, receiving blessings, and making major breakthroughs in both career and love. Their relationship is not merely about emotions. It is an astrological chemical reaction, where each action from one activates the growth potential in the other. That's why many Sagittarius-Leo pairs often accomplish great things together, build projects, inspire others, or even become inseparable spiritual companions. Of course, fire doesn't always burn evenly. There are days when Leo's pride touches Sagittarius' bluntness. Times when Sagittarius' unpredictability causes Leo to question. But you know what? The beauty of fire does not lie in its consistency. It lies in the fact that even when it burns unevenly, it still warms. And in this love, honesty, integrity, and courage are the three keys that help both grow. If you've ever been part of this rare combination, be proud. You have experienced a connection far from ordinary. And if you're still waiting for such a bond, don't hesitate to send a message to the universe. Comment, I am ready to ignite destiny with my soul companion. Who knows, a heart quietly searching for you may have just heard it too. To a Leo, the world is a stage, and their heart, the center of every spotlight. They are born to shine, to lead, to be admired, but beneath that proud exterior is a tender soul, always longing to be loved by someone who not only sees their glow but also understands the times they collapse in silence. And then, Sagittarius arrives, not as a spectator, but as a soul companion. Not in awe, not in rivalry, simply present, with all the freedom and sincerity a heart can give. Sagittarius does not captivate Leo with sweet words, nor with flattery. They win Leo's heart with one thing, pure authenticity. While the world demands Leo to be perfect, to be strong, Sagittarius is the one who allows them to be vulnerable. A look, a timely touch on the shoulder, a compassionate sentence like, "You don't have to be the sun all the time. I'm still here, even if you're just a small spark today." That alone is enough to make a Leo open up. There is something special about Sagittarius that Leo silently admires, a spirit of freedom that cannot be tamed. While Leo seeks stability to rule, Sagittarius is a strange wind carrying maps of the soul. Fascinating philosophies, stories from distant horizons. Sagittarius makes Leo feel like they are not just the center, but a part of a larger, deeper, more meaningful journey. Sagittarius awakens in Leo a curiosity, a thrill to rediscover themselves, like a kingdom never explored. And in that relationship, the most beautiful part is this. Leo doesn't have to give up the crown, and Sagittarius doesn't have to hide their wings. They don't try to tame one another. They let each other be free, and still choose to stay. They are not bound, yet they never let go. As if their souls once made a promise in a past life. Even if I am a wandering wind, and you are the immovable flame, we will still find each other. If you are a Sagittarius who once made a Leo open their heart, or a Leo who has ever been healed by a Sagittarius, be proud. That kind of connection is rare. And if you are looking for that kind of love, don't be afraid. The universe always hears the whispers of your heart. Leave a comment. I am ready to love and be loved the way my soul longs for. And trust, somewhere out there, a heart waiting for you may have just awakened too. There is an ancient concept in mystical astrology called twin flame, a soul counterpart. It is the idea that two souls, split from the same source of energy, wander through lifetimes apart, only to meet again in the one life that matters most. They say that when twin flames reunite, your inner world resonates like a string plucked in perfect tune. And the bond between Sagittarius and Leo carries all the signs of such a connection. When Sagittarius and Leo enter each other's lives, nothing loud happens immediately, but deep within the subconscious, there is a strange feeling, a sense of familiarity, as if they had once stood side by side in a past life, perhaps as soul friends, perhaps as warriors fighting for a shared cause. They don't need much time to understand each other. No long explanations. A glance, a smile, a silence, enough to communicate through the frequency of the soul. Sagittarius awakens Leo's spiritual potential. They say things that make Leo reflect. They speak of dreams Leo has also seen. They invite Leo out of their comfort zone, not in rebellion, but because they believe that soul expansion is the most valuable gift life can offer. Together, they write a true cosmic script. Not merely love, not merely passion, but purpose. They share light. They heal. They inspire those around them, sometimes just by being their radiant and free selves. And if you are the one listening to this, perhaps you too carry the mark of a sacred reunion. Maybe you have looked into someone's eyes and felt your defenses crumble. Not because they were perfect, but because they made you feel safe, to be exactly who you are. If that touches your heart, leave a message for the universe. I am ready to reunite with my twin flame. Because the moment you truly desire it, the gateway between energy realms will begin to open. People often think of Leo as the leader, the symbol of strength and power. But there is a gentle truth not everyone sees, sometimes. For a flame to be whole, it needs the wind, not the kind that puts it out, but the kind that helps it burn brighter, deeper, and in the right direction. That is what Sagittarius brings to Leo. Sagittarius does not make Leo change through pressure. They inspire Leo to change. No judgment, no demands. Simply asking questions deep enough to make Leo stop and reflect. When Leo is used to looking only outward, Sagittarius gently asks, "What about the light within?" When Leo is too focused on recognition, Sagittarius says, "Look at the way you inspire the world. That is your true value." They help Leo grow not by wounding the ego, but by nurturing it lovingly. They are the first to pat Leo on the shoulder and say, "You have the right to be tired. the right to let go for a while. But you must never forget, you were born to lead with your heart. And miraculously, Leo, who once thought themselves the center of the universe, learns their greatest lesson from a simple, free-spirited Sagittarius. They learn to listen, to be humble, to love without needing to be worshipped. They learn to forgive, not out of weakness, but from understanding that forgiveness is the greatest gift of freedom for both sides. In times of crisis, Sagittarius does not walk away. They stay, look directly into Leo's pain, and say, "Walk through this darkness, and you will see a light stronger than ever before." And in that moment, Leo knows they have met the right one. Not just a companion, but a guide. Not just a lover, but an awakener. If you have ever met someone who helped you become a better version of yourself, someone whose every conversation was a mirror for your soul, then you know you've experienced one of life's most sacred meetings. Comment: I am grateful for the one who helped my heart grow. Because perhaps, in doing so, you've awakened a silent wave of love in this universe. The year 2025 is not an ordinary year for Sagittarius and Leo. It is a year of awakening light. A time when the universe arranges encounters of destiny and transformative changes for both of these zodiac signs. In the astrological chart of the year, we see a significant transit of Jupiter, the ruling planet of Sagittarius, forming a radiant trine with the Sun, the ruler of Leo. This is a powerful symbol of harmony, expansion, and elevation in every aspect, from love and career to spiritual life. If you are a Sagittarius, 2025 is the time when you will be called back to your soul's mission. You will be driven by strange dreams, invisible callings, unexpected opportunities, to begin a new journey, where heart and vision meet. And if beside you is a Leo, someone always ready to protect you like a warrior of light, then congratulations, you are holding in your hands a rare energy that will carry you far while keeping your core intact. For Leo, this is the year you will learn to shine in a more mature way. No longer just the superficial glow, but the inner light born from healing and deep understanding. Sagittarius will be the one who initiates that process. They won't only tell you what you want to hear, they will tell you what you need to hear. And while that may force you to face yourself, it is precisely that loving honesty that is the greatest spiritual gift you could receive this year. Venus will also transit Sagittarius in the autumn of 2025, bringing a romantic and inspirational breeze. If you are in a Sagittarius-Leo relationship, this is a perfect time to plan a pilgrimage, a joint project, or a deeper spiritual commitment. If you are single, then during this time, you might unexpectedly meet a soul who makes your heart stir in a way you cannot explain. And if that person is a Sagittarius or a Leo, trust that the universe never arranges anything by accident. This is the year when both of you will see more clearly who your true companion is. No more shallow bonds. No more fleeting emotions, only clarity, authenticity, and light shining through every choice you make. And if you feel like this message is speaking directly to you, don't hesitate to leave a message to the universe. I am ready to step into my destined path. Maybe you are not only calling out to another soul, but to the highest version of yourself waiting to awaken. Not everyone is lucky enough to meet someone who changes their heart forever. Not everyone has the chance to walk beside a soul who helps them understand why the universe laid out such winding paths. Some meetings are not loud or dazzling, yet afterward, everything inside us is different. And for souls carrying the frequency of Sagittarius and Leo, that meeting is not merely destiny, but the gateway back to themselves. You may have once looked into someone's eyes and seen an entire universe reflected. You may have once heard a simple sentence that calmed every doubt in your heart. You may have once walked through a noisy world, and suddenly, everything fell silent because of someone's presence. Those moments are not random. They are signs, messages from the universe, whispers saying, "Stop, that person is standing right in front of you." Sagittarius does not belong to anyone, but they stay with the one their soul recognizes. They are not bound by material things or titles, but they open their heart to the one brave enough to enter their inner world. And when they love with a heart that has traveled through many lifetimes, passionate, Compassionate, longing, yet ready to let go. They are the guiding flame. But even light sometimes needs a hand to hold, so it doesn't burn alone. Leo is strong, proud, yet also needs a place to fall when night comes. And Sagittarius, with a wild yet sincere heart, is that gentle refuge. Not through possession, but through understanding glances, not through control, but through unconditional trust. They come not to change each other, but to recognize themselves in one another. The universe always opens the door of destiny, but only those brave enough will step through. If your heart is resonating with these words, maybe you're standing right in front of that doorway. Don't turn away, don't miss it, trust your own feelings. Leave a comment. I am ready to walk through the doorway the universe has prepared for me. That is not just a sentence. It is a commitment to your soul. And when you speak it with sincerity, perhaps someone else has whispered the same thing at the other end of destiny. We have now walked together through a journey that is not only an astrological exploration, but a journey of the heart. From the first spark between Sagittarius and Leo, to the deepest layers of the soul, where light not only shines outward but spirals inward to heal, awaken, and transform. And if you're still listening at this very moment, perhaps you too carry a deep connection to this sacred energy. The union between Sagittarius and Leo is not merely a harmony of two fire signs. It is a meeting of the brave heart of the sun and the free soul of Jupiter's arrow, two symbols of light blessed by the universe. Where the desire to shine is empowered by unconditional belief, where even a glance can carry comfort, encouragement, and hope for a better tomorrow. A Sagittarius does not keep you with promises, but makes you stay with the feeling of being fully yourself. A Leo does not make you forget the world, but makes you want to come home after every journey. If you are Sagittarius, please hold on to the fire within you. Do not let the world extinguish your faith in the sacred. For you are not merely someone living in this world. You carry the maps of other realms within you. And if you are Leo, do not fear being hurt. Your heart is not weak. It is simply waiting for someone strong enough to see its softness without judgment. Maybe you have met someone who made time, logic, and distance all feel meaningless. Maybe you have loved without knowing why, without knowing how it would end, but your heart has never forgotten. That is not illusion, that is truth, the memory of the soul, the reunion of two beings who have crossed paths through many lives. And if this feels meant for you, please trust, you are not alone. The universe is still whispering to you every day, through dreams, through songs that suddenly play, through glances that make your heart skip. Listen, open your heart, and step forward. Comment below. I welcome the destined love of my soul. It is not just a sentence, it is an energy signal. An invitation to the universe to begin a new journey. If what you heard today touched your heart, please share this message, because maybe someone else is also waiting to hear these words so they can walk through the door they've feared for far too long. And remember, what you give, the universe will return to you many times over.